Hi, I'm Katie from Castrads and I'm here today with Damon from Blakemore Renewables. Hi Damon.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Going to be a classic British person here, mention the weather. The sun is shining for us today.
Beautiful week.
It is. So, a few weeks back I was lucky enough to have a catch up with Adam Chapman. He's obviously one of the founders of Heat Geek. You are what they call an elite installer. So can you just give us a bit of context behind that?
That's a platform that they've got where they're like an MCS umbrella scheme. So there's supplying and having people fitting in heat pumps for them. You've got to be a certain level and do a certain level of work, business-wise, personally, how you conduct yourself to be part of that scheme.
Yeah. So I have seen this project literally go from the beginning, and I've seen how much work has been involved in this. Seems like an awful lot of work for a heat pump. That's, I'm sure, people that see the videos that we are filming for this project might agree with. So why a heat pump?
This didn't always work just for an heat pump. They're doing a lot to the house to make the house better, for it to be livable, for comfort. So it could be, you could do the same amount of work if it were for a gas boiler.
Yeah.
A heat pump, just because, why not? That's,
yeah.
You know, sustainability, you're looking at reducing your carbon, and they're nice to have, you know.
Yeah.
I think the house prices will start going up.
Because they've got them installed.
Yeah.
So people will see it as a plus.
Yeah, and you have an MVHR in here as well, solar, batteries, you know, you've got that full, what they call Holy Trinity as such, so you've got the full package on that. Your house is then ready for anything in future, you know, lower electric prices. If electric goes up a bit, you've still got your PV and your batteries, so everything complements each other.
So, I mean, this house has been taken back to its bare bones. Yes. Does that mean for you as an installer that it's easier because it's been taken back to this level? Or have you still come up against hurdles because it's in, you know, because it's like this?
Running pipework wise, not as much. It's kind of easier because you're not having to disturb features and furniture in the house, or take ceilings down or take boards up.
Yeah.
So that way has been a lot better. But like heat lossing wise, quite a bit more to it, because you're dealing with like U values that you haven't got. Potentially you're having, that might change as it goes along. So you've got to keep on top of what design's going to be as well, because small things will fit. Like, say for example, they're not using a certain type of insulation and they're going for a cheaper option, then your heat loss is going up, your U value, so that changes everything then.
Well, actually then, while we're talking about heat loss, Nick, who owns this property, he's done quite a lot of extra things. As well as the heat pump, obviously he's gone for triple glazing.
Yep.
They've gone for the extra insulation in the walls.
Yep.
Basement has been converted to like modern recs. So, you know, are those the sort of things that just make a huge difference and the addition of the heat pump as far as conserving energy goes?
Yeah, because in something like this, if you're taking all that out, you might be looking at like 12, 13 kilowatts a heat loss.
Yeah.
Possibly more. Nick's got down, we're only fitting a 6 kilowatt heat pump.
Yeah.
So that's how low that we're going, which is quite remarkable for what it is.
Yeah. So
in something like this, yes, it does make a big difference, but it's also not essential. We could have just fitted a bigger heat pump, and it still would have worked. It's just that his bills are going to be lower. He's going to be able to utilise more of that PV into his system, and with the MVHR in there as well, we're going to have better air quality throughout. So yeah, I'm kind of jealous.
So at what point then, if you've got let's say me, I've just a gas boiler at home, at what point does it jump from like me going to Heat Geek and saying, okay, I'm possibly interested in getting a heat pump installed? At what point does it then pass over to you, like in the process? And do you do anything like a site visit, for example?
Yeah.
So you know what you're dealing with?
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. So Nick found me through Heat Geek, but this isn't a Heat Geek job as such. We're going through my own MCS.
Okay.
But the Heat Geek, we work in the same principle. So if you went to Heat Geek, you'd book a survey, which is it's chargeable. We'd then come out, and I work the same way as my own model. We come out, heat loss the full property, have a chat, look at electrics, look at water, look at sightings, look at if you need planning, look at size of radiator, size in pipework, any insulation upgrades that you need. You know, quite a lot gets done in that survey.
And is it the same as, you know, when you have a normal gas boiler, the plumber comes out every year to service it. Is it the same for a heat pump? Is that something that you do?
So the cylinder side is still the same as what you'd be on the gas side. The heating side is still the same, so you'd still do water quality checks, you'd still service your cylinder, make sure that's correct. And the heat pump wise is a bit of a different service to a gas boiler, but you're still looking at them essential parts of it and see if there's, you know, maintenance for warranty purposes, because they'll want it doing.
Yeah.
And you keep it clean and keep on top of it, it's going to prolong life for it as well.
Yeah.
So that's something that you also need to look at, and price wise it's not much different.
Actually, that is a really good question, and that's something that I've never thought about when I was putting questions together for you. Do they have a shelf life? You know, we know how long a normal boiler lasts. Is it a similar situation?
I'd say possibly longer. I mean, if you look at, you go walking past like old shops and takeaways and that, they've all got air conditioning units outside that are battered.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even look like they're working, but they're still working.
Yeah.
The heat pump's exactly the same. So you're just reversing cycle of what an air conditioning unit is.
Yeah.
And so if you keep on top of upkeep, and big thing is you've got to get that system right. If your system's not right, you're going to have more issues with it. So that'll be where the problem comes, is where they get put in incorrectly. And so not like the heat geek way of doing it, that's what they want it.
Well, they do kind of say there are a lot of people out there that believe that heat pumps cause nothing but problems, and Heat Geek especially will be the first to say, you know, it's the installer a lot of the time. The problem is not with the heat pump itself, and I think that's why a lot of the public are scared to touch them, really.
Yeah, and I think on that front, I don't think there's any other force really in industry that's pushing it like Heat Geek. They're making it known that they do work and they're doing it well. I mean, I think their average performance is above 400% efficient, like from all the heat pumps. You know, out there people are getting like 2.5, 2.6%.
Yeah.
At 400%, you become cheaper than gas. So you're also not reducing your carbon, you're actually saving on your bills at that point. And
that's a great starting point.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I think they're like kind of market leading in what they're doing.
So I've heard a lot of conversations about water quality, and I know we're not just talking about like soft water, hard water, you know, what you boil your kettle for, etc. Can you explain a bit more about what that means?
Yeah, well, basically you are kind of talking about like just soft and hard watering systems. So for years in this industry, we've just dosed with chemicals with no real guidance on how you're cleaning or how you're treating that. Just put a bottle in, that'll do 10, 20 radiators.
Yeah.
And then they found problems with that, so then they started selling magnets. But while that's all been going on in the UK, in Europe, there's like a few different standards: Austrian standard, German standard, which is most common one, which is VDI 2035, and that's controlling your water chemical free. So in this particular job, we're gonna flush it all, and then we're gonna fill it with demineralized water. I feel like it's a resin bed, and that takes all the like impurities out, lowers the hardness, lowers the conductivity. So with high conductivity, you're then going to get a corrosion starting, especially with oxygen in there as well.
Yeah.
So what we're fitting on this job is a reaction tank, which is just a natural electromagnetic science process.
Yeah.
We've got an anode, and we're going to remove the dissolved oxygen. We're going to lower the conductivity, lower the hardness, and then when the anode's dead, we'll just change the anode and keep on top of it.
I feel like on a science lesson.
Yeah, sorry. I do ramble on a bit.
No, that's all wonderful.
That's it, yeah.
Listen, we are going to let you get back to your, I think you're doing the prep, aren't you, for the heat pump that's going in this week. So thank you so much for giving us a bit of your time so we could get it. Yeah. Just to reiterate, Damon is from Blakemore Renewables. You're based in Sheffield.
Yes.
So you've come over today for this job, and you're here throughout the week, I'm guessing, as well. Okay, that's great. And if you've got any more questions, we've got the video that I did with Adam. That's also on our YouTube channel. And we'll be having many more stories in relation to what we've been talking about here. So you can either get in touch with Heat Geek direct or just give us a call at Castrads in Reddish. Thank you.